Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you for tuning into the next episode in the series. We previously covered fonts and specifically adding a font family to our application and applying this font at the themes level so that basically anywhere that we draw text on the screen, it will abide by the new font family we've put in place for the app. So if you missed that, go ahead and just watch the last video. If you missed any other episodes in the series, I recommend just going back and getting caught up to speed so that you understand what we've built here so far. And if you're returning, I appreciate the continued support. In today's episode, we are going to cover I guess a way to display the facts that are associated with each of our locations here, or our destination attractions. That's what they're called. You can see each attraction has an array of facts attached to it, which is just a very basic, it's an array of strings on the actual object. But all we do with that right now is just list the number of facts in this text view here, and we have a little quick listener, but we don't do anything for it, so I figured we might as well go ahead and do something with it. So I also think it's a good time to introduce the standard Android dialog, or the material alert dialog, I believe it's called. So we are looking to use the class called the alert dialog in the Android X package. I'm going to go ahead and use the builder method here to create a dialog. We're just going to do the one that has the context only for now. And then we're going to go ahead and do or set a couple things here. So we can go ahead and set, well, let's set a title. I think that makes more sense first. And the title is going to be the attraction that we're looking at dot title, and then we're just going to put that in front of the word facts. And so then we're also gonna, let's just build a string here. So yeah, we could do a string builder here. We're just gonna basically format our facts appropriately so that it makes sense to display. So we're gonna go ahead and say attraction dot facts dot for each, and for each one of these we're just going to say string builder dot append it, which is the actual fact itself, and then we will also do string builder dot append new line, so that all of them appear on the new line. And then we're also at this point going to go ahead and just truncate the last two characters, right? Because if there are three facts, it's going to print the fact, print a new line, print the fact, print a new line, print the fact, print a new line. But then we're just going to have a rogue new line at the end of our string that's going to kind of push some things down, in the UI, which isn't the end of the world, but just to let it be known that it's there. So we're just going to go ahead and say that our message is going to be our string builder to string. There's a million ways to do this. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do this. So we could probably do last index of our new line character. Yeah, so that should give us, basically truncate the new line character at the end of it. Set message, and then let's say set positive button here. We're going to go ahead and say we're just going to go with OK, and then okay, can't do it in there. What is this? This is a dialog interface on click listener. Okay, so I was able to do it. I just needed to know the proper syntax here, but at this point we're just going to do nothing and say dialog.dismiss when they click the button. I'm going to need to call build on it. No, just show. Okay. So it's pretty straightforward here, but we're just going to go ahead and build a dialog. We're going to give it a particular context. We are going to set the title of it here to be the attractions title, and then facts afterwards. We've come up with a small loop or a little bit of logic here to actually extract the single string from our list of facts, and then what they call set positive button, which is just like the you get choices on your dialogue to either do the positive action, do the negative action, or I think they also have a neutral action, and those buttons appear in different locations. But we're just going to go ahead with the positive button because that's all we're looking for right now. So we'll click on Zagreb here for facts, and as you can see here, we have a little bit of a messy dialogue because I guess the text is a little longer than we were expecting, but nevertheless we have a dialogue here that we're able to very easily just add to our screen. There's no layout config that we need to do. We didn't need to create anything. We were able to just kind of use the system dialog capability and just present it with the information that we wanted. So let's actually go ahead and do sorry, I don't need both, but new line, and then rerun things here, because hopefully that'll put a line in between our facts, so it should be a little bit more obvious where they start and end. And so here you go. Zagreb facts, the capital of Croatia, the cathedral is the tallest building, blah, 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 blah. So now it's a little bit easier to read. And then I guess if we were to even do something along the lines of, I don't know, little punctuation or formatting, we could probably find the Unicode character for a bullet, right? But now you can get a little bit more formatting. All right, and after a quick Google search, found out that this little slash U2022 is the Unicode character for a bullet point. So if we just append that in front of our text, now our text has a bullet point here. So real quickly to just demonstrate the different types of buttons that this dialog has. Let's go with no over here. Yeah, I don't know. There's not too much more here that we should do. But so you can see here now that the different buttons appear, and so because it's a negative versus a positive button, it orders it appropriately. The positive button is always kind of the one that's in the bottom right corner to just kind of, I guess, be, I don't know, keep it standard and most applicable for, I guess, most users that are just going to know that the positive or the action they normally want to do is in the same spot. It is important though that we do have to call the dialog.dismiss at the end of this little block here for any of the buttons that are clicked, because if you don't, okay, hold on a second. Okay, they must have updated that. I actually guess you do not have to call dialog.dismiss anymore. The system takes care of it for you. But essentially in here, you can run the code that you want to when they select a particular option from your dialog. Ideally there's a bit more I guess context to the possible actions that they can perform in this dialog. If it's just informative, you usually only have to use one button. But if you want them to actually do something from the button and then receive user input, you can actually override these, or this is providing the callback for the code to run. when they click that button. And then you can also get away or dismiss this dialog in general from just clicking outside of the dialog's bounds here, basically in the background. However, if for whatever reason you didn't want to allow that to happen, let's say it's a really important dialog that the user has to interact with in order to proceed in your app for whatever reason, you can use the set cancelable false flag or I guess method in when you're building the dialog to actually not allow the user to dismiss the dialog via clicking outside the bounds. They actually now have to click a particular button that exists on your dialog, or if you were to have your own UI inflated in the dialog, they were to interact with it, you could then dismiss the dialog that way once they did whatever you wanted to. But just know that you can force them to interact with it with the set cancelable, but hopefully it's not necessary. And then I guess the only other thing here to talk about real quick is that you can apply a theme to the dialog that you're presenting to the user. So if we really quickly, I don't know why I opened that. If we really quickly went into themes and we created a new style, let's just call it my dialog. Sorry, not extends parent. Let's see. We're going to do the material components dialog. And let's say instead of this being that purplish color that is taken from this color primary attribute for the entire theme of the application, let's say for some reason we wanted to change that, we can do so in here. Let's see, what's a good color? Let's do the color secondary. So we'll do the teal 700, so it's a little darker. And then we have this set up, but we need to actually add this style to our dialog. What do we call it? My dialog. R.style is going to go ahead and reference the style that exists within your themes file. And so then if we go ahead and give this a whirl here, rerun some things, now we're basically overriding the particular style on this instance of the dialog. So if we go ahead and click it, you can see a lot has changed, a lot more than I was anticipating. It's got to be because of this parent theme that we're overriding here. So let's just go ahead and remove that really quickly and see how things react this time around. Oh my god, look at that. We have basically created an entirely new screen, it looks like. All right, let's find the right theme here. After fiddling around with a few of the parent themes here, I realized that we just needed to kind of follow the pattern here that we have set up for our entire system or our entire app theme. So we can see that the theme for the application here is actually material components, day, night, dark action bar. So we just needed to follow that exact, I guess, pattern or path or paradigm here. So we have the material components, day, night, material components, day, night dialog, which is exactly what this is. And so now you can see we've only overridden the color primary attribute, set it to teal 700, and now you can see that the buttons here that had the purplish color to them and the lighter purple as the little ripple on the actual color have now changed to be this teal color. So you can style dialogues differently depending upon whatever your need is, and not always super necessary, but just wanted to showcase the two different constructors here that are available to you in this alert dialog builder pattern, and then just how easy it is to really get something on the screen, that your user can interact with, and you can handle them interacting with that information. So, little quick tutorial here. Got our facts up here that are now we've kind of completed, I guess you could say, like this other screen, if you will. So now we can kind of have a fully functional app here, nothing's missing and whatnot. But yeah, so that's about it with the alert dialogs and material dialogs, and applying a little bit of a custom theme on there. If you've enjoyed what you saw or what you have been seeing, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. And if you don't want to, just watch the video instead, then feel free. But I will catch you in the next one regardless.